and welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we are doing a classic sandwich recipe for you. This is our take on a Cuban sandwich. Now this is sort of a non-traditional take on this. This is sort of the quick and easy way to do this. Typically you'd want to make your own seasoned roasted pork to do this. We're just using a really nice ham that we have from a deli, but we'll show you our ingredients to start. So we have this beautiful fresh Tuscan style ham, as well as a cured meat. We're using lasshchinken. We have some cheddar here. We have these beautiful rolls, some of our homemade pickles, a little bit of mustard, and some mayonnaise. Very, very simple. This is a pretty easy sandwich to make. Really delicious, though. That pickle and the cheese together really pulls it all together. So we're going to start off with our bread. So we're just going to cut this most of the way through. We don't want to break it off. We're going to try and keep it together if we can. And we're going to butter both sides on the inside, and we are going to pan toast this. So this is going to go into the frying pan until it has a little bit of color on there. And while that's toasting up, we are going to get our ingredients ready. So we have this beautiful lasshchinken. It's sort of a German style. It's like a prosciutto. It's a cured meat. It's smoked, and really, really fantastic. So you want some kind of a cured prosciutto style of meat to go on here. You can use prosciutto, you can use this or speck or anything really, whatever your preference is. Now our ham is already sliced, so we don't have to slice the ham, but we are going to slice our cheese. Now we're using cheddar for this. It's a 2-year aged and smoked cheddar, and the smoke was really nice and subtle on this one. But we can also use any kind of mild cheese. A Gouda or a Swiss is really, really popular for this. Now, our bread is nice and toasty now, so we're going to get a little bit of that mustard on both sides. Now, the mustard we're using is sort of a hybrid between a Dijon and a yellow mustard. It's really, really tasty. We enjoy it. And then we're going to get some mayo on one side. And you can use whatever kind of mustard you prefer. If you just like yellow mustard, go ahead and use yellow mustard. If you want something more like a Dijon, you're perfectly within your rights to use whatever you want. Now we're going to load this up with some cheese. We're going to put cheese on both sides of this. And we want to put the cheese on the outside because we're actually going to press this sandwich. And we want to get that cheese a little bit warm, a little bit melty if we can. So once we've got all of our cheese on there, we're going to add our lasshchinken. We're going to add our cured meat on one side. And that's pretty straightforward. We're just going to, stack it on there. You can make it as thick as you like. Now that's a really intense flavor. It's quite smoky, so we're going to be a little bit calm with that one. And then our ham is going to go on the other side. Now, as I said earlier, typically you'd want to use something like, you could use our ssam recipe for this, that nice roasted pork, some roasted pork tenderloin, anything you like for this. Now, we had this amazing deli ham, so we're just going to use that for this recipe. But of course, the flavor profile of the sandwich is going to depend on what kind of pork or ham you're using for this. So all that's left to add now is the pickles. Now, if you have whole pickles, you can cut slices, and you have those nice, long, thin slices down the middle. Really, really easy to do. If you have spears like we have, then you may need to settle for cutting into little chunks like this, which is fine. It makes it a little easier to distribute through the entire sandwich. And then once you've got all your pickles on there, we are going to close that up. A little bit of black pepper. Now you don't really need to add any salt to this because there's a lot of salty elements. The ham, the lasshchinken, and the pickles all have quite a bit of salt in them, so we're not going to add any salt to this. But we are going to butter the outside of our roll. That's going to hit the nice hot pan again. And then we're going to press it. So the easiest way to do that is we're going to use our cast iron skillet for this. Now you can get sandwich presses and that sort of thing. Those will work just fine. You can also get those like diner style bacon presses, which are basically just a chunk of iron as well. You do want to make sure you're protecting your sandwich. If you're what you're pressing it with is maybe a little grimy on the bottom. You also want to make sure that the bottom of your cast iron doesn't get a whole lot of butter on it because it'll burn off in your oven. So just protect it with that sheet of parchment. And there you go. And that's nicely toasted. You can see the cheese has gotten a little bit melty in there. The ham is all warm all the way through, really delicious. The outside is quite crispy. And that's ready to go. That is a fantastic sandwich right there. Once it's been pressed, it's a little bit dense. You want to make sure that everything's not falling out the side there. This is why you want to keep it connected if you possibly can. And that's it. Really, really simple, easy sandwich to make. Really delicious. And I urge you to try it because some people don't, they sort of shy away from pickles, but I'm telling you, there's a little bit of magic somewhere between the cheese and the pickles and all that beautiful ham in there, and we really hope you'll give this one a try. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe, and if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.